Hi everyone, this is Professor Jake Pomperada from a Science Research Specialist 2 of Technological University of the Philippines, Visayas, City of Talisay, Negros Occidental, Philippines. I will be your keynote speaker in this 4th International Conference on Recent Advancements in Engineering and Technology. I would like to say thank you very much to Ms. Poja Prakashtan and to the for Engineering in Research and Publication for inviting me in this prestigious research conference and being also your keynote speaker. In this presentation, I would like to present my topic on Introduction to Progressive Web Applications or PWA. What is progressive web apps? A progressive web apps is a type of web application which can be used as web page and mobile app on any given device. Introduced by Google, eagerly approved by Microsoft, and reluctantly adopted by Apple, are gaining massive popularity among global leaders of online technologies. Companies such as Pinterest, AliExpress, Trivago, OLX, and Forbes, which have already field-tested the abilities of progressive web application or PWA technology to boost user engagement, prove that it is the best answer to the challenges of the mobile world. The term progressive web app was coined by Google Chrome engineer Alex Russell, who used it to describe a new generation of web applications that load just like regular websites, but take advantage of features supported by modern browsers, including service workers and web app manifests, to offer the user functionality such as working offline, push notifications, and other features that have traditionally been associated only with native applications. Such as PWA effectively bridge the gap between mobile apps and websites, offering the best of both worlds. PWAs come at a time when users demanded sleek mobile experiences but are overwhelmed by the number of apps on their devices, making them reluctant to install new ones. Many leading companies have already jumped on PWA bandwagon and released their own web applications with native functionality, including AliExpress, which reported a 104% increase in conversion rates of new users, excuse me, with Twitter, which saw a 65% increase in pages per session, 75% in tweets, and a 20% decrease in bounce rate. Timeline of progressive web applications. In 2005, responsive web apps is developed using PHP, ASP.NET, and Ajax. 2007, web apps lose the native apps in better user experience and faster file loading. In 2010, evolve of HTML5, CSS3, and JavaScript makes web apps more capable. 2015, Francis Berryman and Alex Russell developed the first generation of progressive web apps or applications. How progressive web apps works. The general idea of progressive web apps is quite easy to display. They are apps written on web technologies such as JavaScript, cascading style sheet or CSS, and HTML. They look and behave just like a regular pages. They are visible in search engine page results and likable but offer similar functionalities to native mobile apps. They work offline, can send push notifications, and use device hardware the same way as native apps. According to Google, the creator of progressive web applications or PWA, Progressive web apps are user experiences that have the reach of the web and are reliable, opens new window, load instantly, and never show the dinosaur even in a certain network conditions. Fast, open new window, respond quickly to user interactions with silky smooth animations in no junky scrolling. Engaging, open new window, feels like a natural app on the device with immersive user experience. In this level of quality allows progressive web apps to earn a place on user's home screen. So we have here the fast, reliable, and engaging. Flipboard. Flipboard is one of the best examples of progressive web application (PWA) for online news. The PWA minimizes the data usage to deliver a sleek and fast browsing experience in a beautiful interface. Until the launch of their PWA, Flipboard was a mobile app which only present on mobile devices. So we can clearly see in this picture the different dashboard of Flipboard in different mobile devices. Characteristics of progressive web applications or PWA. Progressive web applications PWA are fast. Site speed is crucial for every online business, no matter if it is a store or a news site. Online, primarily mobile, consumers are very impatient. Half of mobile visits are abandoned if the loading of the page takes more than 3 seconds. The state of online retail performance opens new window published by Google. Every second of delay causes the loss of a client. Losses can be up to 20% in all possible conversions. Progressive web applications (PWA) are reliable. The reliability of progressive web applications (PWA) is based on their independence from an internet connection. A PWA can work offline, providing a stable experience no matter the quality of the connection. It allows users to stay engaged as long as they want. They can continue browsing a product catalog or even add items to add without an internet connection. Progressive web applications (PWA) are engaging. A progressive web applications (PWA) has access to the device's features which make it able to enrich the user experience and avoid problems with re-engagement. However, PWAs are conveniently accessible directly from a browser and easy to pin to the user's home screen. Brands can send their consumers push notifications with official in real-time offers, updates, and reminders of carts abandonments, which increase customers' loyalty. Characteristics of web applications can inform mobile and desktop. Connectivity independent, no always need connection to the internet to accept to working offline and update later. App-like interaction, user can use like using native application or apps with app style. Refresh always to update the service worker, a JavaScript file which runs separately from main browser, thread with function to control network, and cache, so the user can receive the latest data and store locally when they go offline, and update status to server and send the data when go online. Safe can only works with HTTPS featuring encrypt and decrypt the traffic. Discoverable, identifiable as application with W3C app manifest. Can be added to home screen with identity saved in JSON file, and easy to search in search engine. Installable, the web app can be saved into home screen, so the user doesn't has to check open related app to search again through. Clickable, easily can share via URL or user resource locator and doesn't require to install first. Companies that uses progressive web applications, PWA. So here, we can see the several companies who are already explore and use progressive web applications in their business. Example is OLX, Livago, Forbes, Starbucks, Uber, Instagram, Twitter, Tinder, Financial Times, Lancor, The Weather Channel, Life, Flipboard, Flipkart, AliExpress. Advantages of using progressive web applications, PWA. Mobile first approach. PWAs are the direct answer to the user's needs to allow businesses to build web solutions that first and foremost work excellently on mobile devices, all in one. With a PWA, it is possible to develop a web page and app at the same time with lower costs in a shorter time to market. On the other hand, users don't have to visit app stores to get the app. They can install directly from the browser. Short loading times. PWA load 2 to 3 times faster than responsive web pages, so users don't get annoyed with loading bars and get instantly engaged. Native-like user interface or UX. Push notifications icon on the homepage and offline access are some of the native app features that comes with progressive web applications or PWA. Offline capacity. A lot of customers suffer from low internet connectivity. A PWA allows them to continue browsing without obstacles. A PWA offline readiness also supports traffic peak on Black Fridays. SEO friendliness or search engine optimization. PWA can be optimized according to Google's guidelines indexed by Googlebot, which makes a PWA the right choice. Open new window for many. Some businesses factors are, however, are worth noting. With progressive web apps, developers can focus on one project which supports all operating systems and browsers instead of building apps for individual devices. This approach is more comfortable than covering all marketing channels with separate online services, although it comes with some design and business challenges. Summary of advantages of progressive web applications. So we have here offline mode, great performance, no installation and updates required, platform specific features, low data consumption, app store independent. So we will discuss also here the disadvantage of using progressive web applications or PWA. Drains battery power. Given that they are written in complex codes, the phones have to work harder to interpret the code. That's why PWA consumes more battery than native apps. So users are no more worried about their battery power and may not have to download this kind of an app. Unable to access various devices features. PWA fails to access several features on your device, which makes it lag behind native apps. PWA does not have access to the devices NFC and also devices Bluetooth, advanced camera controls, and so much more. All this makes the apps less than ideal for your users. Compatibility with iOS. Since iOS 11.3.3 has been possible to run PWAs on Apple devices, but you can't forget about compatibility with older devices. What's more, Apple does not allow PWA to access many important features including Touch ID, Face ID, Arcade, Bluetooth, serial, beacons, altimeter sensor, and even battery information. Issues with legacy devices. PWAs has been around for just few years, so it shouldn't come as a surprise that older mobile devices with outdated web browsers do not support them too well. While this problem will inevitably solve itself in the future, it may be a source of customer complaints for some companies. PWAs can't do everything. As capable as PWAs are compared to traditional web apps or web applications, they can't do everything mobile apps can do because they are written in JavaScript. They are not as battery efficient as apps written in native languages like such as Kotlin or Shift. Their performance is also not as good as the performance of native apps, which has a lot to do with the fact that JavaScript is a single-threaded programming language. At the moment, access to certain important device features is still missing, including Bluetooth, proximity sensors, ambient light, advanced camera controls, and others. Okay, so we have here the summary of disadvantages of progressive web applications. Compatibility with iOS, issues with legacy devices, PWAs can do everything, drain battery power, and then lastly, unable to access various devices features. Benefits of using progressive web applications, PWA. Short loading time, good performance in poor network connections, small size, app-like features to add home screen offline mode, push notifications, avoid app aggregators, Google Play, App Store, etc., instant updates. Benefits of PWAs for businesses. No middleman involved in app download and installation, independence in app update process, undistributed digital journey with weak or non-existent connectivity, short loading time even in traffic peaks, higher user engagement and conversion rates, support in search results thanks to mobile-first approach, seamless onboard from social channels, Instagram, etc., in higher marketing, return on investment, ROI, decreased cost of user acquisition, CAC, increased cross-platform conversion, all-in-one processes of development, updates, and product information. Benefits of PWA for developers. Modern development approach, positive developer experience, possibility to work with headless architecture, no need for separate app development for iOS and Android operating system or OS, no need to pay developer accounts on App Store or Google Play, short time to market. It is possible to launch a PWA in 160 week hour. Independence on backend with PWA platform agnostic solutions. So we have here the components of progressive web applications or PWA. So we have here HTML5, main language to write website with progressive support. CSS3 or cascading style sheet 3, language for styling and designing alongside with HTML or hypertext markup language. JavaScript, language for using Java function, access hardware with JavaScript, API or application programming interface. Service worker, provide to work offline and auto update when go online. HTTPS protocol, which PWA can be run and access on internet. App manifest, a JSON file for create link to access easily by W3C. App shell, the design concept aim at loading and rendering the container first, example like splash screen. Caching, save some of files in cache memory for furthermore, the web app can be loaded shortly. Technologies used in progressive web application development or PWA. Several technologies are used for developing progressive web apps. However, it is primarily built on JavaScript with different characteristics. The leading technologies used for creating progressive web applications or PWA is React. React, a JavaScript library, is central to build user interfaces. Facebook runs it, and given the social media giant also uses the same framework on its sites, which means the structure is rigorously tested among 1.18 billion users daily. The most striking features of React.js, it is component-centered approach to development. Every component is based on JavaScript, so you are free to use it time and time again. Polymer. Polymer consists of several components, tools, and models designed to create progressive web applications or PWA. With a Polymer template, you can quickly create a PWA. Being an open source project by Google, the technology gets frequently updated so as to stay in sync with other open source projects the template leverages. Angular. It uses JavaScript framework for creating robust web applications and leverages HTML or hypertext markup language as a template language. More importantly, the framework helps create single-page applications in a clean and maintainable way. Additionally, it offers data binding capability to HTML or hypertext markup language, which in turn provides a rich and responsive experience to the users. Ionic. It's a JavaScript framework for developing powerful applications for many platforms using basic code. The framework's nature ensures economical and faster development while cutting maintenance costs. Accelerated Mobile Pages or AMP. It helps improve the performance of web pages. The technology ensures faster loading pages, low bounce rate, mobile friendly, enhanced search engine optimization or SEO, and adjustment to any browser. So we have here in this table the pros and cons of progressive web applications or PWA. So we have here features: multi-platform capability, low cost to build, installation required, updates required, push notification, AC sharing, low data consumption, offline usability, and faster UI. As we can see in this table, we can see that there are so many advantages of using progressive web applications in creating an app compared to native app or responsive web. So we have here the example of progressive web application. So the main purpose of this website is to show the list of movies in search history. So Yasin Bernabas, the author, wrote the article for guiding basic knowledge on PWA using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. This PWA ran on localhost. So we have here the sample code. So index code calling initialization of CSS in main CSS, in JavaScript in main.js. On the body, we have two divider container. First one for search box, second one for display search history. It uses ID base to call the CSS or cascading style sheet. So we have here the main.css, the three style to be called: history, anime underscore item, and anime item image. The rest of the code can be learned from W3 School in still normal CSS code. So we have here initialization, JavaScript, create an empty array to store search history using API or application programming interface from https api.gcon.me to get the data. When the function build anime markup is called, it's return the data with HTML code. Some of the function from the JavaScript file, all of the codes are in JavaScript language. It is better used to Java language. Java language in JavaScript using object-oriented concept. The JSON code named manifest.json, it is used for adding into home screen with an icon which adjusts the device's screen. It also stores name, nickname, language, display, parameter, etc. when open later. In HTML5, add this code to call the manifest.json. The website can offer how features to be added to device home screen. So furthermore, add service workers so user can work offline and get updates synchronized when go online. Add caching feature to reduce loading time in main.js file. The example is using web app manifest generator for creating manifest.json file. Add HTTPS protocol, which is mandatory for PWA or progressive web application. We can get free SSL certificate on this website. https let's encrypt.org at server-side rendering. Conclusion: at their heart, progressive web applications, PWA, are just web applications. Using progressive enhancement, new capabilities are enabled in modern browsers. Using service workers and a web app manifest, your web application becomes reliable and installable. If the new capabilities aren't available, users still get the core experience. Progressing web application, PWA, have several characteristics like app-like, connection independent, safe, and advantages such as lightweight in load time and data. No installation, lower cost, PWA built with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript language and can work with framework like Angular, Ionic, React, Polymer, Pwas, which is open source and free to use. Progressive web apps provide you with unique opportunity to deliver a web experience your user will love. Using the latest web features will bring enhanced capabilities and reliability. Progressive web apps allows you to be installed by anyone, anywhere, or any device with a single code base. So we have here my references on my presentation. This is the end of my presentation on my topic on introduction to progressive web applications. Thank you very much for listening. This is Professor Jake Pomperada, Science Research Specialist 2 of Technological University of the Philippines, Visayas, City of Talisay, Negros Occidental, Philippines. Thank you so much.